Update. Am I the a-hole for flirting with another girl after my girlfriend introduced me as a friend? Original post. Me, 28 male, and my girlfriend, 29 female, have been together for more than 2 years. We recently moved cities, and she started working in a new place 3 months ago. 2 days ago, there was an after-work get-together event at a bar with her coworkers, and she forgot her phone charger at home and her battery was low. So I went to give her the extra power bank we have at home, as her phone uses the old USB type. As I went to her table to give it to her, one of her colleagues asked her who I am. Before I could say anything, she replied, "This is my friend OP. He agreed to lend me the charger." I was a bit taken aback and looked at her and said, "Friend?" She just laughed and said, "You are so funny. Thank you for this," and waved to me, as in implying goodbye. One of the other colleagues asked me if I was free. I could also join them, and I said why not, and I could sense the annoyance on my girlfriend's face. People were drinking. Some talked to me and asked me questions, made conversation. What do I do? Where did I grow up, etc. I should mention at this point that my girlfriend and most of her colleagues there were Chinese, and I am Indian. This becomes relevant later. Whenever someone would ask me anything related to how I met my girlfriend, she would pipe up to answer in a way that wasn't untrue, but completely omitted any romance, giving the impression that we were just old friends. This kept bothering me, and I will admit I was getting pretty angry. Then one of the colleagues, who initially asked who I was, pretty drunk now, said, "She never told us she had such a good-looking friend," and laughed. My girlfriend also did a small polite laugh. I replied, "I didn't know she had such a pretty colleague either," and winked at her, which made her laugh more, but my girlfriend became visibly upset. Another colleague said to my girlfriend, "Seems like you are an expert Cupid." My girlfriend was turning red, and I was also feeling slightly uncomfortable. So after a bit more chit-chat, I made an excuse and said I had to go. The colleague said I should get her number from my girlfriend, and then I left. Now when she came back, she refused to talk to me. And yesterday she angrily told me that I had kind of cheated on her and hurt her badly. I replied that although what I did was hurtful, she also needs to own up to the fact that introducing me as just a friend was hurtful. She refuses to acknowledge it as wrong, saying that she is just socially awkward and she thought that her colleagues might react weirdly to her dating an Indian guy, as they all are dating white or other Chinese people. Her reasoning is that it is a lot of explanation and questions regarding interracial dating, and she just wanted to avoid all that. I don't buy it. I feel she just wanted to hide the fact that she is dating me. We are at an impasse. I refuse to apologize until she sees that what she did was wrong, and she thinks she did not do anything wrong, and that I was mean. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments before reading the update. Absolutely not the a-hole. Your girlfriend essentially erased your relationship to her new friends. New friends, I might add, who clearly didn't give a toss about your ethnicity. Your judgment was right. She just didn't want to admit she was dating you. Sorry, but that's a deal breaker. I would love to buy this man a drink for the way he handled it. She didn't want him to be her boyfriend in this group, so he didn't act like it. Beautiful. Not the a-hole. Your girlfriend introduced you as just a friend after 2 years together? That's hurtful. Flirting back was petty, but understandable. She can't hide the relationship and expect you to act like her boyfriend in front of people she's hiding you from. You both need to talk honestly about why she's ashamed to acknowledge you. Not the a-hole, but you're not going to recover from this because the incident clearly demonstrates the kind of relationship you have. She's ashamed of you, socially. She'll keep you a secret, and you're not going to be able to progress in terms of commitment. If she's ashamed of calling you boyfriend, do you think she'll be willing to call you fiancé or husband? Now for the update. Thank you all for your responses and advice on my previous post. The last 3 days were a whirlwind. To answer some questions people had, in the work friend group that day, there were 3 guys as well. I did not publicly correct her because saving face is quite important for her. She would have had a literal panic attack if I had done that. On Friday we talked. I admitted I was petty, but I was also hurt by her introduction of me as a friend. She broke down. At work, they have a group chat where they share memes, and it gave her the impression that they hate Indian people. She did not want to become the topic of jokes, so she had planned to introduce me slowly to the group as a friend, and after they started liking me, reveal that we were dating. This backfired badly because I started talking to them last week before she was ready, and she got anxious and went into autopilot mode to support her initial lie that I was a friend. She felt helpless, guilty, and hurt when they found me acceptable and cool, and I started flirting. Why did she not tell me all this earlier? She felt that it would make me dislike her coworkers, who are otherwise actually nice people, and she thought I would feel bad that she works with them. I asked her if I could see that group chat. I wanted to make sure this was the real reason and not a work crush, as many had suggested. Almost 1/3 of the older memes they shared were Indians dirty and civilized, or Indians horny creeps, etc. Y'all know, they're plenty on IG. There were also some about Southeast Asians, mostly posted by one guy and one girl. Others would just laugh, react, or add a one-liner. I scrolled back to an old message by my girlfriend to one of these memes. She had said, "I have an Indian friend. He is pretty nice actually." Someone had replied, "You found one of the clean ones," followed by a bunch of laugh reacts. There were also some recent messages after they met me, but I didn't bother to read and translate it all. I realized that although she liked my personality and looks, she was never very interested in my language or culture. Since I started dating her, I got an HSK3, can cook most Chinese dishes perfectly, and know all about her region. But Holy will come and go without her still knowing what Holy is. I felt hurt that those kinds of jokes weren't a big enough deal for her. I asked her why she never said anything to them about these jokes. She said this is the kind of reaction why she didn't tell me before. She feels like a relationship is private and is not a part of who she is as a person, especially at work, so she saw no reason to create tension. I feel she just means I am not worth it. I asked her point blank if she would have preferred if I were not Indian. She said it would have made her life easier. That stung me. I packed some clothes and went to a friend's house. I don't even know how to write about my feelings even now, but I felt very hurt, as if my trust was completely broken by her. My friend is going on vacation and will let me stay at his place while I find a new one. Today I went to get my other belongings, and she was crying a lot. She says she does not understand why something so minor can make me break up and throw away a good thing. She says she loves me, and if it is so important, she will change her workplace. I told her I will need to think about things, but I cannot be with her right now. My brain honestly feels like a jumble right now. I know that I feel hurt, but I'm having a hard time articulating exactly what things hurt me. It's interesting that she feels that erasing a whole part of who you are is something so minor. She wasn't proud of you, didn't defend you, didn't have courage to call you hers publicly, so she loses all the goodness that you are. OP, I'm proud of you for choosing yourself and holding a line. It would be easy to just try to get past this, but you're honoring your worth. Your ex can find an easier partner more aligned with her ingrained racism. In the meantime, you're going to go on kicking goals in life. Exactly. She hid who OP was and called it minor. That's not love or respect. Yeah, did the right thing by choosing yourself and walking away. Bruh, this is not minor. She is delulu if she thinks their racism and her own is minor. You are absolutely right to break things off with her. Do not ever consider getting back with her. Racism should be a deal breaker. End of story. Next story. My girlfriend reminded me to pay her back $10 after I forgot my wallet. I've paid for almost everything over 4 years, and it left me feeling weird. Original post. I, 28 males, have been with my girlfriend, 24 females, for 4 years. We're serious, planning to get married. Throughout the relationship, I've paid for nearly everything. Dates, trips, food, gifts, you name it. I'd say easily 99% of all expenses were covered by me. She never really offered to split or pay, and I never asked her to. I was working full-time and doing well financially, so I didn't mind. Recently, though, I quit my job because I was mentally exhausted. I've been going through a bit of a burnout and needed a break. She, on the other hand, is currently working full-time and doing fine financially. The other day, we went out and she wanted a bubble tea. I forgot my wallet and my phone was dead, so I asked her to pay for it. It was like $10. She paid, drank it, and I dropped her off at her apartment. The next morning, she reminded me to send her the money. I had completely forgotten, so I sent it right away, but it left a weird feeling. I've spent thousands on her over the years, never asked for a dime back, and now that I'm out of a job and she's doing well, she couldn't let a $10 bubble tea slide. It's not about the money, it's about what it says. I can't tell if I'm overthinking this or if it's a red flag. I've always treated the relationship as a partnership, and this just felt transactional. Am I being too sensitive, or is this worth paying attention to? Now for the top comments before reading the update. Excuse me, sir. Are you saying that she wanted bubble tea for herself, expected you to pay, and because you couldn't pay it, she had to pay for her own bubble tea herself? And now you have to give her money for the bubble tea she paid because she wanted it? That's just weird. I mean, I would understand if you offered, forgot your wallet, and said, "Go on, I'll give you the money later." But she invited herself for you to pay her bubble tea? Yeah, I get how it sounds. And honestly, looking back, maybe it was a bad decision. But the truth is, I was just trying to be that man, the one who takes care of everything, so that later when we have kids, she wouldn't have to worry about money or struggle like I saw people. I thought I was doing the right thing by carrying it all, even when I was sinking. I didn't realize how one-sided it was becoming until it was too late. I wanted to be strong for her, but in the end, I just drained myself trying to live up to something that wasn't even appreciated. I hate to tell you, though this woman has zero empathy or consideration for you. Whether you've been the person financing everything in the relationship in the past, the fact is emotionally you're not in that place to do it now, and she is doing absolutely zero to help you while you're in a tough place. It's a partnership, and relationships are always going to have ups and downs. But she is choosing to not be there to be your support to lean on during your tough time. I really think you need to take a serious look at this, and perhaps get yourself into some counseling to see if she's really meeting your emotional needs. Sending you an internet hug, my friend, you deserve better. Feels a little transactional? Your entire relationship has been transactional. 4 years of you paying for the entirety of the relationship. You're paying her to be in a relationship with you. What is that, 30K over 4 years? She doesn't have to put a cent towards things. Could have been 15K you saved if she chipped in on things. And when you two break up, probably will happen, her bank account is nice and juicy. Meanwhile, yours has a burnt hole in it. You're considering marrying each other. Will it always be her money is her money and your money is our money? What is her expectations for marriage? Because if her savings don't become your savings, you are marrying bad. For real, he's been financing her their entire relationship, and suddenly this $10 is the straw that broke the camel's back? OP, she's been using you for money the entire relationship. This isn't news. Just unsure why you've been fine with it until now. Now for the update. Thanks to everyone who commented. I've been reading everything and it really helped me step back and see things clearly. When we started dating, we were both students. I was finishing engineering and already had a job lined up. I also worked as a teaching assistant, so I was doing fine financially. She was still a student, so I paid because she was broke. I never asked her to pay and she never offered. Still never offered to split anything, not even the small stuff. I tried bringing up equality and shared effort, but she always shut it down with comments like, "You're the man, you should take care of me," or "We can't have two women in the relationship." What really got to me is that when I stopped proposing dates or doing everything, she started saying I wasn't making enough effort. Meanwhile, I've been carrying this for 4 years. That bubble tea wasn't about the $10. It was about realizing how little support I was getting back. So yeah, I'm out. Last story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to share details about my finances with my girlfriend and her parents? I, 23 male, just got out of the Marine Corps and moved back in with my parents to go to school full-time using the GI Bill. My tuition, books, and living stipend are covered, and I'm also serving in the reserves. I've always been disciplined with money. I save aggressively, invest, and live way below my means, even though I have hobbies like riding my motorcycle and gaming. I'm good with money, and I have a solid plan for the future. My girlfriend, 22 female, and I have been together since high school. She's also living at home, going to nursing school and working part-time as a restaurant host. She's told me she's super stressed about her finances. She has a high car payment and insurance, and she spends a lot on self-care stuff. Salon, nails, cosmetics, designer bags, etc. She admits she doesn't budget or plan much. Lately, she and even her parents have been pressing me to talk about my financial situation. They've asked how much money I have saved, what I earn, how I invest, and even hinted that we should open joint accounts. My girlfriend recently told me that if I'm not more open about money, maybe we need to take a break. That really threw me. We're not married, not even living together. I don't see how joint finances or total transparency make sense at this stage. I was raised to believe you keep your finances private unless you're married or building a life together, and even then, you don't have to merge everything. My parents think it's bizarre that her folks are getting involved, and they've warned me not to share financial details this early. They've even said if we eventually marry, we should consider keeping separate accounts and maybe a prenup, especially since we have such different attitudes toward money. So now I'm stuck wondering, am I the a-hole for keeping my financial details to myself? Is it actually that weird to want privacy about money while we're still in school and living at home? Or are her concerns valid and I'm being too guarded? Edit. To clarify, I care about her a lot and want the relationship to work. I'm just worried that if I start sharing financial details now, it sets a precedent I'm uncomfortable with, especially with how much influence her parents seem to have. Am I the a-hole for not sharing my finances and resisting the idea of joint financial planning while we're both still students living at home? Not the a-hole. She and her parents want her to be spending your money. It's none of her parents' business. If she wants a break over this, take one. Find a girlfriend who's responsible with money and who has financial behavior that matches yours. Her parents are probably tired of financially bailing her out and are thinking they can pass it on to you. Brother, I would take a break and see where it goes. Besides, if you merge finances, her debt becomes yours, whether you keep separate accounts or not. You say you love her, but maybe it's time to love someone else. If they get married, then she will be his problem. The fact her parents are trying to pawn her off when they aren't married or even engaged is a huge red flag. Your finances are absolutely none of her business right now. Get ready to get bombarded with requests for support once they find out you have reserves. I don't want to suggest breaking up with her, because it sounds like you have been together for a long time, and I will assume she has some great qualities. But the fact that she is irresponsible with money and has no blueprint for succeeding in life means she is relying on you as her get-out-of-jail-free card. Her poor decisions and issues are about to become yours. She needs to address the underlying problem and fix it. I recommend doing Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University together as a couple. This will serve as a great indicator of how she will be in a marriage and also be a good litmus test as to if you are truly compatible. This course is great because it is highly motivating and will get you on the same page financially. Or at least, it will help unite you in your goals. For the love of God, do not join finances with this woman or share how much you have in savings. It's none of her business or her parents. That's a bigger red flag that they are getting involved.